Welcome to the Deep Dive, your essential resource for staying well-informed and really excelling in your UPSC journey. Today, we're embarking on a crucial deep dive. We're looking at current affairs from September 12th, 2025, Part 1. We've gathered, well, quite a diverse stack of sources, everything from government initiatives to, scientific breakthroughs and environmental alerts. Our mission: to cut through the noise, extract those vital nuggets of knowledge, and help you connect the dots across different subjects. Make sure you're thoroughly prepared.
That's absolutely right. And for many of you, some of these topics might even serve as a valuable revision, reinforcing concepts you've already perhaps encountered, which is always a powerful way to solidify understanding. We're not just looking at what is happening, but critically why it matters, exploring its broader implications for India and the world and how it fits into your preparation.
Perfect. So let's unpack this. Let's start with a segment highlighting a really fascinating intersection of tradition and technology for India's tribal communities. The Ministry of Tribal Affairs recently unveiled the beta version of the Adi Sanskriti Platform. This was at Harat Mandapam. So what's the true significance of this platform? How does it aim to, empower our tribal communities?
Well, what's truly insightful here is how Adi Sanskriti uses digital infrastructure, not just for preserving culture, but to sort of democratize access to tribal knowledge, and critically, to empower tribal communities with economic agency over their own cultural assets. It's actually envisioned as the world's first digital university for preserving and promoting tribal culture and traditional knowledge. And its multifaceted approach, that's what makes it so powerful. It integrates three major components.
Okay, three components, yeah.
First, there's the Adi Vishwavidyalaya. That's a digital tribal art academy. It's already offering, I think, 45 immersive courses. Things like tribal dance, painting, crafts, music, folklore.
Wow, 45 already.
Exactly. Then we have Adi Sampada. This is a sociocultural repository. Think of it like a digital treasure trove. It's got over 5,000 curated documents across 5 themes: paintings, dance, clothing, artifacts, livelihood practices.
Comprehensive.
Very. And finally, Adi Hat. That's the online marketplace. Right now it's linked with TriFed, but the plan is for it to evolve into a dedicated e-commerce platform, ensuring sustainable livelihoods and direct consumer access for tribal artisans.
That's an incredible integration, education, documentation, and commerce. And it's not just top-down, right? It's built in partnership with state tribal research institutes, TIIs, from 15 states in this first phase, places like Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh.
Precisely. That collaboration is key.
But I wonder, with India's digital divide, how do we make sure these benefits actually reach the most remote artisans, people who might lack internet or digital literacy?
That's a really crucial question, and it speaks to the implementation challenges, doesn't it, for any big digital initiative. The partnership with state TRIs is supposed to help bridge that gap using local expertise for training and onboarding, but it definitely highlights the need for, other things, physical infrastructure, digital literacy programs alongside it. For your UPSC prep, this initiative is a fascinating case study. Think GS Paper 2, Social Justice, Government Policy, Vulnerable Sections, Digital Inclusion, and you can link it to Art and Culture in GS Paper 1, and Inclusive Growth in GS Paper 3 as well. And remember TriFed's role under the Ministry of Tribal Affairs.
Okay, so Adi Sanskriti shows how tech can preserve culture. But culture also thrives in, living traditions. Let's look at one: the Langkhun Festival, a deep dive into the Tiwa community's way of life, recently celebrated in Umzoe village in Assam. What's the essence of this festival? What does it tell us about the Tiwa people?
The Langkhun Festival is a really profound socio-religious event. The Tiwa community offers prayers for a good Rabi crop season. It's very vibrant. Offerings to gods, traditional music, dance. It really embodies their connection to agriculture and nature. Now, the Tiwa people, also known as Lalung, they mainly live in Assam and Meghalaya. And we often distinguish between the hill Tiwas there in Karbi Anglong, Meghalaya, speak a Tibeto-Burman language, and the Plains Tiwas, found in the Brahmaputra Valley, who speak Assamese.
Right. And I read the Tiwa community has some really interesting social structures, quite distinct. Can you tell us more? What makes their social setup unique?
Absolutely. One of the most, striking aspects is their matrilineal society. Lineage, inheritance, often traced through the mother's line.
Matrilineal.
And this shows up in their marriage system. They call it Kobialiwa. Traditionally, the boy goes to the girl's home to marry. It's a remarkable cultural practice, really highlights the diversity within India's tribal communities. They also celebrate other key festivals: Tiwa Bihu, Jaunbil Mela, Sagra Masawa, Langkhun Puja. For UPSC, this is excellent material. GS Paper 1, definitely. Art and Culture, Society, think tribes, unique social systems, and also relevant for GS Paper 2, vulnerable sections.
Okay, sticking with tribal communities, there's recent focus on the Bonda Tribe. The Odisha governor stressed the need for comprehensive development in Bandagadi, their home. So, who are the Bondas? And what makes them particularly vulnerable?
The Bondas are identified as a particularly vulnerable tribal group, a PVTG. That makes them one of India's oldest, most isolated tribes. You find them exclusively in the Malkangiri district of Odisha, mainly in the Kairput block. They trace their lineage back to the Austroasiatic race, and they speak Remo. That's an Austroasiatic language, quite different from mainstream Indian languages. This linguistic isolation, among other things, really contributes to their vulnerability.
I see.
And they're broadly split into two groups: lower Bondas, closer to the plains, and upper Bondas, who live in the more remote, hilly areas.
And their way of life, their social structure, houses, clothing. What challenges do these unique aspects pose for their development and protection?
Well, their unique characteristics, while culturally rich, also kind of highlight their fragility, They have a hierarchical social structure, a council of elders, live in traditional mud and thatched-roof houses. Their art is in decorative tools, vibrant fabrics. But their reliance on subsistence, agriculture, hunting, gathering, plus low interaction with the outside world, it makes them highly susceptible to external pressures. What's deeply concerning, and this is a critical point for awareness, is their alarmingly low literacy rate. It's only about 6%. Combine that with a very low life expectancy, it puts them in a precarious position.
Only 6% literacy. Wow.
Yeah. So comprehensive development here isn't just about growth. It's really about ensuring their very survival. This topic is vital for GS Paper 1, Art and Culture, Society, PVTGs, and for GS Paper 2, Government Policies for Vulnerable Groups, Social Justice. It's a stark reminder that some communities are truly, on the brink.
Okay, shifting gears now, from local development and culture to global challenges. A recent discovery in Siberia puts a spotlight on something affecting our climate future. Scientists found a nearly perfectly preserved 44,000-year-old wolf in permafrost. This find really brings permafrost into focus. For our listeners, what exactly is permafrost?
Permafrost is, simply put, it's any ground that stays completely frozen, at or below 0 degrees Celsius for at least 2 years straight. It's most common in high mountains and higher latitudes near the poles. It covers almost a quarter of the land area in the northern hemisphere. You find it on land and also below the ocean floor. Its thickness varies hugely from just a meter to over 1,000 meters deep. And while 2 years is the minimum, summed Siberian permafrost has been frozen continuously for, get this, 650,000 years.
650,000 years.
Oh.
Incredible. So beyond just being frozen soil, what critical components inside permafrost make its thawing so worrying for the global climate? It's not just the ice melting, is it?
No, exactly. That's the core concern. Permafrost is a mixed soil, rocks, sand held together by ice. But crucially, near the surface, it contains massive amounts of organic carbon.
Organic carbon.
Yeah, material from dead plants, animals, stuff that couldn't decompose because it was frozen solid for so long.
Okay.
There's also an active layer on top. That part thaws in summer, freezes in autumn. Now, connect this to the bigger picture. The critical takeaway isn't just that permafrost thaws, it's that it creates a self-reinforcing feedback loop for climate change.
A feedback loop. How does that work?
When this ancient organic matter thaws, microbes wake up, basically. They start decomposing it. And this process releases significant amounts of methane and carbon dioxide, potent greenhouse gases, into the atmosphere. This accelerates global warming, which then causes more permafrost to thaw. See the loop?
Ah, right. More warming, more thawing, more gas release.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really crucial potential tipping point for the planet. For UTSC, this topic is critical. GS Paper 1, Physical Geography, think cryosphere, biogeography, and highly relevant for GS Paper 3, Environment and Ecology, climate change, global warming, even disaster management, because thawing ground causes infrastructure damage.
Okay, from the frozen north, let's head south to an ecological crisis unfolding right here in India. Vembanad Lake in Kerala. Reports say it's being pushed into crisis. Unchecked tourism, luxury houseboats, decades of encroachment. What makes Vembanad Lake so important? What's really at stake here?
Well, Vembanad isn't just any lake. It's the largest lake in Kerala, and significantly, the longest lake in India. It has several names: Vembanad Kayal, Punamada Lake, Kochi Lake. It's fed by 4 major rivers: Manakil, Achankavil, Pampa, Manimala. It's this vibrant ecosystem, separated from the Arabian Sea by a narrow barrier island, forms that picturesque backwater stretch everyone knows.
And it's culturally iconic, too, right? The Valam Kali, the Nehru Trophy boat race, happens there every August. Huge event.
Absolutely. Huge cultural significance. But beyond that, immense ecological value. In 2002, Vembanad was included in the Ramsar Convention list, Wetlands of International Importance. It's also identified under India's National Wetlands Conservation Program. Plus, the Kumarakom Bird Sanctuary is on its east coast. Rich biodiversity.
So, Ramsar Site National Program, despite all that protection, it's still facing severe threats.
That's the difficult question, isn't it? Why is it still facing such severe threats from human activity? The situation really highlights the challenge of balancing economic development, especially tourism, with conservation. It's a classic dilemma. The very beauty that attracts visitors ends up threatening the ecosystem itself. For UPSC, this is key. GS Paper 1, Indian Geography, Lakes, Wetlands, and GS Paper 3, Environment and Ecology. Think wetlands conservation, tourism impacts, sustainable development, environmental degradation.
All right, let's venture into microbiology now. The Agarkar Research Institute in Pune recently identified 2 novel species of Aspergillus section nigri, commonly known as black Aspergillus. So what is Aspergillus section nigri? Why should we know about these fungi?
Okay, Aspergillus section nigri. It refers to a group of filamentous fungi within the genus Aspergillus. They're characterized by their black pigmented spores, or conidia, which make the colonies look black. Pretty straightforward name, really. What's fascinating here is their incredibly diverse metabolic capabilities. And their significance, well, it spans various areas. First, food spoilage. They're major players there. You see them on decaying organic stuff, plant surfaces. They cause diseases in crops like maize, onions, grapes, peanuts. They can colonize grains pre- or post-harvest.
Okay, food spoilage. What else?
Second, human health. Some strains of Aspergillus niger secrete mycotoxins called ochratoxins. These can cause nephrotoxicity, renal tumors. So, a potential hazard through contaminated food. They can also cause opportunistic infections in people. But it's not all bad. Third, industrial applications. They're actually workhorses in biotechnology. A. niger is widely used to produce citric acid, gluconic acid, and various enzymes, amylases, proteases, silases.
Enzymes used in
food processing, pharmaceuticals, bioengineering. Really essential stuff. So understanding this fungal diversity is crucial for GS Paper 3. It touches on public health, agricultural challenges, crop diseases, food safety, and, of course, biotechnology.
Okay, from fungi to bacteria. Health authorities recently confirmed a case of Melioidosis in Andhra Pradesh. This sounds like something we need to be aware of. What exactly is Melioidosis? And given its high fatality rate, what makes it particularly challenging?
Melioidosis is an infectious disease. It's caused by an environmental gram-negative bacterium, Burkholderia pseudomale. It's a serious concern, mainly because, well, first, it's seasonal. About 75–85% of cases happen during the rainy season. More critically, it carries a high case fatality rate, anywhere from 16% up to 50% in endemic regions. And it is endemic across Southeast Asia, northern Australia, much of the Indian subcontinent, southern China, Taiwan.
Wow, 16 to 50% fatality. That's high.
It is. And it disproportionately affects people with underlying conditions. Diabetes, alcohol use disorder, chronic kidney disease, chronic lung disease. Those are major risk factors. The symptoms themselves, fever, headache, chest pain, can be quite common, which makes getting an accurate, timely diagnosis a significant challenge.
Right. And given those challenges and the severity, how is it transmitted? Is there any prevention? Like a vaccine?
Transmission mainly happens through contact with contaminated soil, especially if there are cuts or abrasions on the skin. Also through drinking contaminated unchlorinated water or inhaling contaminated dust or water droplets. Exposure during severe weather like monsoon storms can also increase the risk. But unfortunately, at present, there is no vaccine available for melioidosis.
Vaccine, okay.
Which just makes awareness, prompt diagnosis, and getting the right treatment even more critical. This topic is important for your UPSC Prep GS Paper 3 again. Science and tech, specifically health, diseases, public health, and environmental health.
Moving to the economy now. Boosting India's exports. The National Co-operative Exports Limited, or NCEL, and APITA signed in Mayu recently. The aim is to elevate India's cooperative-led agricultural exports. Tell us more about NCEL. What's its role in strengthening our cooperative sector in global trade?
Right, NCEL. It was set up by the Ministry of Cooperation under the Multi-State Cooperative Societies Act 2002. Its specific purpose is to give a major thrust, a real push, to exports coming from the cooperative sector. The big goal is enhancing the global competitiveness of goods and services produced by India's cooperatives. It's promoted by major players, think EMUL, IFXCO, CRIPHCO, NAFED, and CDC. It acts as an umbrella organization.
So any cooperative can join?
Pretty much. Any cooperative society. From the primary level right up to the apex level, if they're interested in exports, they're eligible to be members. Headquarters are in New Delhi. Its functions are quite comprehensive: procurement, storage, processing, marketing, branding, labeling, packaging, certification, R&D. Basically, its core focus is finding the surpluses within the Indian cooperative sector and exporting them to wider global markets. This helps national exports, obviously, but it also directly benefits rural incomes by giving better market access and fair prices.
Makes sense.
For UPSC, this is highly relevant. GS Paper 2, Government Policies, Cooperatives, Agriculture, and GS Paper 3, Indian Economy, specifically Exports, Agricultural Marketing, Rural Development.
Okay, finally, a quick update from defense technology. A recent video surfaced showing a U.S. Hellfire missile hitting an unidentified flying object, a UFO. Now, regardless of the UFO aspect, which is a whole other story, it's a good time to revisit the Hellfire missile itself. Beyond this mysterious incident, what are the key capabilities that make this missile such a staple in modern defense?
The Hellfire, well, it's primarily an air-to-ground, laser-guided subsonic tactical missile. It's really known for its significant anti-tank capacity. But while designed for ground targets, it can also be used effectively air-to-air against helicopters or, say, slow-moving fixed-wing aircraft. It's widely adopted U.S. and over 30 allies use it. It was developed back in 1972, initially to counter Soviet armor. Today, it provides precision striking power against tanks, structures, bunkers, helicopters. It can defeat basically any known tank. What makes it a staple, as you said, is its versatility and precision. It's the missile of choice for several UAVs: Predator, Reaper, Gray Eagle.
Right, for drones.
Exactly, enabling surgical strikes with minimal collateral damage.
So what does that precision and range actually enable in modern military strategy, especially in, say, asymmetric warfare or drone ops?
Well, its precision and versatility are, frankly, game changers. It has a range of about 7 to 11 kilometers, relatively compact payload. It delivers a localized, high-impact force. This makes it ideal for situations needing pinpoint accuracy, taking out specific targets in complex environments like cities, or engaging high-value, slow-moving assets without risking manned aircraft. The latest version, the AGM-114R Hellfire Romeo, integrates capabilities from previous ones. It can be launched from various platforms: helicopters, ground vehicles, uses semi-active laser guidance. This adaptability is crucial for modern asymmetric warfare and makes it indispensable for drone operations where remote precise strikes are key. For UPSC prep, relevant for GS Paper 3 Science and Tech, Defense Technology, and maybe internal security, thinking about border management, counterterrorism uses.
Wow. What a comprehensive deep dive that was into the current affairs. From September 12, 2020 with PIFE Part 1, we've covered so much. From initiatives celebrating tribal heritage like Adi Sanskriti, insights into the Tiwa and Bonda tribes, to pressing global environmental challenges like thawing permafrost and the crisis facing Vembanad Lake, then into science with Aspergillus and Melioidosis, and wrapping up with economy and defense and CEL and the Hellfire Missile. Each piece, when you connect them, really builds a stronger, more nuanced foundation for your understanding.
Absolutely. And critical thinking, it isn't just about memorizing facts, is it? It's about truly understanding their interconnectedness, their deeper implications. For you, the UPSC aspirant, reflecting on how these seemingly separate topics link up, that helps contextualize complex issues, helps you anticipate potential questions across multiple papers.
So what does this all mean for you? Think about how these threads connect. A digital platform for tribal artisans, the silent threat of thawing permafrost, a cooperative boosting farm exports. They're all vital parts of India's development story and our global challenges. How might these intersect in a mains answer? Maybe linking digital inclusion to sustainable growth, or permafrost thaw to global food security. What unexpected prelims question might pop up? Thank you for joining us on the deep dive. If you found this discussion insightful, valuable for your preparation, please do make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. That way you won't miss any of our upcoming deep dives.
Stay curious, stay informed, and keep digging deeper into the knowledge that shapes our world.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing.